Hi, welcome back to One Kidney Mike. I'm here at Sluice Boxes State Park, and this is one of my favorite places to come that's near my house. It's a 6-mile trail. It's on an old railroad grade that used to go from Nyhart to Great Falls. This canyon, which is on the Belt Creek, is absolutely spectacular. And so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to actually show some of the great beauty of this place while going on this hike. It's been exactly 2 months and 1 day since I've had my surgery, and I'm feeling really good. And I'm not loading down my pack on this hike because there's some kind of tricky parts where the railroad grade has either washed out or you have to go around. And so I didn't really feel like trying to max out my pack for maximum exercise on this, but I thought it would be a great hike and beautiful scenery, and I hope you enjoy it. Right here I'm walking along a cliff edge, which is really neat. It's not even that far from the trailhead. You can see that's where I was, and the waterfall. Me and my son actually walked along this cliff edge in the winter time. Well, October. There was snow on here, which I wouldn't advise doing. My son was all for it, and I was pretty nervous. We made it, but I wouldn't do it again. I'm not sure if the camera picks up just how steep and big of a drop-off there is on the edge. Okay, we just met up with the old railroad grade. This railroad went from Nyhart to Great Falls. And in Nyhart, there were a bunch of silver mines that the ore needed smelting, so they would take it to Great Falls. And because of the falls there, they built a bunch of dams, which created cheap electricity to smelt that silver. Evidently there was a bridge here at one point, and you can see that there's a great big drop off there, and the canyon gets really narrow right here, which is really spectacular. So hopefully I have been able to show you some good video of that. I feel like a tree, if it fell, could span from one side to the other right there. It's so narrow. "25 years ago, when I first started hiking this trail, you would cross an old railroad trestle, which is still down below here, except that it was pretty sketchy 25 years ago, and it finally became unsafe to cross. So they closed the trail until they built this bridge. And now that they have, it's really nice. But you can see by the canyon that it's just way too deep to be able to cross without a bridge, and it actually goes quite a ways up too into private land, so you couldn't bypass it that way either. Here's another part of the trail where you have to bypass an old trestle that is no longer safe to cross. Those boards are pretty rotted. I wouldn't trust them. So we'll just go around. Here's another trestle that you have to bypass. As far as I know, you never could walk over this as part of the trail. Well, we're coming up to one of the coolest things that's on this trail, and that, at least man-made thing, and that is this railroad tunnel. Surprisingly, along the whole line through the mountains from Great Falls to Nyhart, this was actually the only tunnel that I'm aware of that they made. It's not very long, but it is still pretty cool. Although certainly not as cool as the canyon itself. Well, we've pretty much reached the end of this section of the trail. Right here is where the railroad would cross Belt Creek, and it's running pretty high. You can cross it on foot if the water's lower, then continue on the trail, but it just starts having to cross the creek a lot. I think there's like a total of 15 crossings, and 12 of them are from here to reach the end of the trail, the actual official end. I just ran across two other hikers that were on the trail. They were probably teenagers, and they just walked across this. I remember earlier I said I wasn't brave enough to walk across it. Well, I'm still not, even after watching them walk across. I'll go around. Well, I'm almost back to the parking lot, and I thought this would be a great place to sign off for the video. I ended up walking about 8.3 miles instead of just the 6, and that's because of the back and forth from filming. I really hope I was able to kind of capture the real beauty of Sluice Boxes State Park. I really want to thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day.